So okay, we'll get to Luke. We'll end with that. I do want to touch on. We can skip over Paris. I do want to touch on Emily and Richard's separation because for me that was like a huge shock. Like seeing the lack of love in a relationship that kind of appeared. Like Richard not really focusing on Emily anymore. She feeling like I don't say less than, but like she didn't really have a purpose. Like I can understand that, but like them, getting a set like separating was like I was like that's crazy because like it's just
Yeah.
like in no season so far there was always like that dynamic, but it never really it was extenuated. Do you think his mom's death kind of put that stress on the relationship, or like what do you feel like or the mom writing the letter as well. Like, what do you guys feel like was the reason why Richard and Emily got separated or separated in this season? I don't know what happened past this, but are separated currently, or was it always going to happen?
I think it was like a mixture of stuff because this season they found out about that Richard was still in touch with
Oh yeah, the ex.
one girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
The girl that like, was like his biggest love or
Right,
whatever.
got away or whatever.
So I think like that kind of like broke the trust and kind of like opened the gates, right? I mean, I don't know. If I found out my husband was like like having lunch with a woman every year, like I'd be,
For years.
Freaking
For
call the
years.
troops.
that would
Wow.
me.
The consistency. That is crazy. No, I agree with Amanda. I think that was the crack. That was what started, causing the separation. Because how could you explain that? Like, why? If it was just maybe one time or twice, that might have been easily explained. But like
Yeah.
you actually were intentional. It's the intentionality for me to actually meet up with this person
And you never mentioned it to me
for
at all.
years.
Not once have you said it. Not once did you tell me that this was happening.
And then coupled with the fact that the mom doesn't like her, like over the years has always not liked her. But I think she favored that other lady over her. I'm not sure. But I think
Yeah,
they
she wrote she
intended.
wrote she wrote the letter saying that the day of the wedding, she's like, I don't want you to get married to
Yeah.
Emily.
So I'm like, okay, so what are we doing here?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was like that's what my thought was. I thought like the reason why I didn't think about the situation with the lunch. Maybe I just glossed over that. But like
Mm-hmm.
I thought like the mom dying and then her seeing the letter because Richard kind of just like he was like that's my wife like she's just there. Kind of I feel like that was kind of like always the feeling of Emily. Emily's following her like pursuits just in like shopping or something like that. And Richard's always been like the breadwinner and like comes home. You never really saw outside of like the Friday night dinners. They didn't really touch on like their relationship at all. I feel like, so it was interesting to me to see that, but I thought it was just like reading the letter, like that's when it kind of fractured because there was a dinner too, which she's like, "Oh, did you see like the apples or whatever?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, those have always been nice." And she like, I was like, man, it's so weird to see like this break down over nothing that was crazy. Like that's kind of what like I agree. Like he should have told his wife, but like it wasn't like he did anything. Like he's still like he didn't cheat, he didn't do anything like that. Like it's a form of cheating, I could feel like, but I don't know. It's just maybe the neglect is the reason why. Like they just fell out of love. I have no clue, but it was just interesting to me to see that happen.
He did
Okay, well,
something. Let me tell you,
look.
in a woman's eyes,
Okay,
that
I
is
thought I was like, what am I
that
doing?
is
No,
Oh,
like
y'all,
like
y'all just gonna break the dam open and
that
just
is
gonna
like
go
Not
through that?
okay.
cheating.
That's not okay.
no, it's not. Period.
That's
I'm sorry.
that's cheating. And then I don't know if they mentioned it this is I can't remember, but I think when she met Richard at that time in college, he was dating someone else.
It was her.
Was it her? So one
Yeah.
of them was dating someone else.
No, 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 no.
And
Like Richard was dating the girl that he's been going on lunch with.
okay, yeah. And then she came in and so I feel like maybe she was the one pursuing Richard and more than Richard was pursuing her. I don't know.
I think
But
it's the same situation with like Rory, maybe not the same, because I don't, to my knowledge, I don't know if anybody cheats. I don't think so. But I think it's similar to like just, maybe check through the peephole and see who's there kind of situation before you open that door. If that was like a problem, right? But if it's, I get what you're saying, Siobhan, where it's like, well, nothing's happening, but you still have yet to share and communicate what is going on. Like if there is not an issue, then you don't have an issue talking to me about this being a consistent thing that you do. And I mean, like, what was it at like the football game or whatever? That's when Emily finds out, and then she's like, "Excuse me, since why? Why didn't you tell? Why didn't you say anything about it? Like, that's a huge problem." I will say, going back, Taiwo made a good mention. Like, I think, you know, her relationship with her mother-in-law has always been really not good. It's been really bad. And I think like what did you say that was like the kind of the tear? Was it that
Me or
like
Taiwo?
Taiwo?
Oh, I talking. Oh, like when because
When
the
things
mother,
started conflicting.
yeah, because she doesn't like her apparently. So that just kind of like confirms, like, okay, you favored this other person
Yeah.
like over me, and that means he never really got over her, over the previous lady, and then that's why you kept this friendship, whatever, over the years.
Yeah.
Just so that you can have a piece, you can still hold on to a piece of whatever you thought should have been.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I would think about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, bruh, like, no.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree. That's also how I'd think of it. I'd be like,
So, Vaughn, as from a men's perspective,
yeah, wait, hold on.
tell us, because what is going on? What is the
You have the
She's
reactions. The
floating.
reactions. Your fireworks. You're going off, Taiwo. You just Zoom was like Taiwo's going off. Fireworks, fireworks, fireworks.
Someone tell us from a man's perspective. I really want to know.
About
Why
the
do you
situation
think it wasn't a
about
big
Richard?
deal? No, why do you think that wasn't a big deal? Like that he didn't do anything.
I mean, I can understand why it's like, yeah, it's for years is wild. The wild is for years. Like if it was like a one-time thing, but for years is wild. For Richard's character, I can't speak for like as all, but like for Richard's character in the show, I feel like he's like, I'm just a like because he doesn't, he seems kind of like upstanding, like an upstanding guy, like part of the community. Like I'm Richard. Like he kind of just lives in his own world where he does his own thing. He goes golfing when he wants to. He goes out with his friends. He goes to New York. Doesn't think about his wife too often. Like he's like, yeah, I'm going to New York, I'm having dinner, and he's kind of just like his wife is just like there. So Richard's character is kind of just like, it's just something I do, right? It's not like for him, it's not like, oh, this is a big deal because he goes to lunch with a bunch of people. Like he has lunch with his business partners. He has lunch with people on the golf course. He goes golfing with people. He goes to New York and has dinner with random people. And so
Sounds like this is the only woman though.
I know a lot.
exactly. But yeah, and I agree with you saying. And there's a reason why he hit it. There's a reason why he hit it, right? But it's also, I feel like he's just like, he doesn't really think twice about what he does. He just does it. Like that's kind of Richard's character. He just does it. Is he
Like
right?
wonderful.
No, I can agree with what y'all are saying. Like you should have told your wife that you're having dinner or a lunch every year with the girlfriend that you were dating
And
with.
he pays.
Why?
Does he pay for the lunch? I'm sure he does.
Yeah, he does pay for the lunch. Yeah, absolutely pays for the lunch. Richard's definitely
It's a date.
But anyway, so that was crazy. That the separation threw me. And then for the fact for them to be separated, and then like later in the season, we see like them like to the point where they can't be in the same room. Like at the last episode, they're like, we can't stay in the same room together. It's like how did that deteriorate so fast? You know what I mean? That's what threw me too. It's like that like the deterioration happened so quickly. But again, the show progresses pretty fast as well. So it's like
Yeah,
maybe
I
it's
think
been
they're
like a long time that they've been separated. It's not just 2 episodes.
And they don't really talk. They don't communicate. They just act.
They sit
They
far from each other on the
just,
table, like on
yeah, even when they were together, they never
Mhm.
really talked like a couple, like a normal couple. They just, reacted to each other as opposed to actually expressing and communicating.
Yep.
So
They're
when that
cohabitating,
happened, you
but
said
they're
what?
not. They're like cohabitating, but they're not really.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
how it seemed like. And I've seen that older. Anyways, let me not get into it. But yeah,
Yeah.
That's how my
So
grandma.
what's that generation called? Baby boomer? What
maybe.
is it?
Well, were they baby boomers or were they
Were they baby boomers?
before?
Anyways, older people tend to be like that.
Maybe.
They
I don't know. I know Gen Z
they don't
millennials, that's all I know.
they
Right
don't
now, Gen X
communicate.
is my parents. But yeah, cool. So I appreciate you guys sharing that.